Of course, everybody from Houston is named Hush, right?
I actually knew Hayward Hush IV, whose grandfather founded the town of Houston. That's kind of another story. But
I used to call football games with Tui Hush,
Oh, how about
played
that?
played with William, and the first grade league, the first grade age group in football. But yeah. And one thing I learned about Hush is that there's no way to phonetically spell it so someone can understand.
That's right. Everybody wants to call
rhyme
it
with
Hosh.
anything. Yeah, it doesn't. You cannot phonetically spell it, so you just have to know.
It's Hush as in P-U-S-H, push. Hushton. Anyway, Raiden Nickel is starting up front. Zach Frank in the 98, Jacob Hughes in the 147, Gabe Spencer in the 240, and that reset as they came across. And Zach Frank is now your leader. He's in the senior. A lot of these guys, seniors, of course. Raiden Nickel is considered one of the seniors as well. It's kind of odd to be a senior when you're 14 years old, but I guess that's the age differential.
He races like one for certain, and they got through that first corner pretty cleanly despite a lot of bobbing and weaving by everyone, but they were able to get through safely without locking up any tires or jumping anything. So I think we have a good, smooth start here. We're watching who is our leader now. I'm seeing Zach Frank showing on the leaderboard. Is he the one that crossed the line first? We'll know very shortly as they come through turn 15.
I do believe.
Come to the line, we'll get a reset there. We got a pass for second place. As we go into turn 16 and come out of 17, here comes our leader, and we'll get all this straightened out for you.
Yeah, timing and scoring will take care of it.
It is Zach Frank, your leader. Raiden Nickel, he was the one making that move that we saw. Yeah, Raiden, I didn't know he was running the downforce cars. Did he do that last?
Yeah,
time?
Time before last, he ran one of the Radicals, so
Okay.
that was the first opportunity for Raiden to do that, and actually won in that race. He wins in everything he's in.
I was going to say
he's the Kyle Larson of road course racing.
With better judgment.
Well, maybe true. Zach Frank continues to lead it. He's in the 98 cart, and you see him taking it over toward turn 9 and 10, and that through the S's there as they make their way up the hill. And we've got Raiden Nickel in second spot. Jacob Hughes in the 147 is third. Gabe Spencer fourth in the 240. And we've got a mixture up front. It's all the seniors. We've got a couple of juniors interspersed within our senior groups as well. They make it down to turn 16.
7/10 differential at the line, and that completely evaporates as Frank gets way high in 17, and that's going to open the door wide for Raiden Nickel to take the lead.
Raiden Nickel comes off turn number 17, and then he heads down to turn 2 right now. So he's made his way quickly up to the top spot as Frank went off course just for a moment in 17, and it didn't take long for Raiden Nickel to capitalize on that and get his card up front. They go down the kink right now as they head into 5 and 6.
Raiden Nickel, Zach Frank, Jacob Hughes, Martin Simonoff, Gabe Spencer, your top 5 now as we are 2 laps into the scheduled 8 for this KA100 seniors and juniors and seniors pre-final here.
We mentioned Raiden Nickel being out there as one of our drivers that races on the main track. Jose Garcia back on the track again, another one of those drivers. He was just out a couple of races ago, and Garcia back out in the 00. He's running 8.
Look at Frank close it up going into 16. Whether he can turn that into something coming out of 17, we will see. But he closed it up. He made up for that mistake a little bit, but he was really going hard into 16, got right on the bumper. But I think Nickel took the turn a little bit better after that. So we're looking at maybe, 3-4 cart lengths between first and second, Raiden Nickel and Zach Frank, as they come by our position, going through turn 4, go through the kink of 5 and 6, head up the hill. They go into that big sweeper, number 9, then into the S's. Raiden Nickel, still your leader. The gap at the line the last time was 0.3 of a second still. So lap to lap, it looks like Nickel's being pretty consistent as far as his lead. We'll see if Frank can make any hay with Raiden Nickel. He's not disappearing, that's for sure. I mean, we are so used to seeing Raiden Nickel take off and leave folks. Although the gap now is stretched out to maybe 4 or 5 cart lengths, but there he goes. He closes in, accordions in as he comes through turn 16 and 17 back to the line. Let's get a differential there again. Yep, half a second now. So, yeah, Raiden Nickel opening up a little bit over Zach Frank.
Well, I tell you what, it's been interesting to watch Frank in turn 17. That's where he had the bugaboo a little earlier. I think he goes in there a little more gingerly now than he did before, and that allows Raiden Nickel just to pull away a slight bit when they come off 17.
Well, I think that may be a characteristic of I think the first lap, when he closed way down on the first lap after he was relegated to second, he closed way down on Nickel going into 17. So he may be going into, 16 a lot harder than he needs to, because that cost him on that first lap.
Well, Nickel tries to pull away a little bit. He's his distance between his cart and Frank's cart starts to separate a little bit right now.
So we'll see. Now watch him close, and of course that's all braking there too on Ray Nickel's part. A little more delicate going into turn 16 and 17 this time for Zach Frank at the line. Now it's still at half a second, so things have leveled off a little bit, and we'll see if he can work his way back up within striking distance of Raiden Nickel in the last 4 laps of this 8-lap pre-final. Actually, we've just completed 5, so we have 3 to go. 3 to go of the scheduled 8 here in the KA 100 senior and junior pre-final.
Those 5 carts behind our leaders of Nickel and Frank seem to be pretty evenly spaced. There we got a good little battle going on. I believe that's Gabe Spencer and Spencer Mast, possibly. Those 2 that we're watching right there. I believe that's the 2 that are in line. They got a good little battle going on as we get a side-by-side look going down into turn 7 and turn 9, actually.
So my prediction is Spencer will get the best of that one.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah, we have Gabe Spencer and Spencer Mast. So Spencer is the key person there, no question.
It just makes it easier to call.
Yeah.
Yep, Spencer takes it.
That's right. Give the lead to Spencer. We're not talking Jimmy either. They come up the hill. Let's see what we've got this time as they head down toward turn 2. They were the leaders going into 2. We've got guys coming off turn 4 right now as well. That's the leaders coming off, the drivers coming off 17 as they come back to the start-finish line. I had my corner wrong there for a moment.
Yeah, Spencer, those is the Spencer boys going at it for 7th and 8th. Meanwhile, the last lap, the completion of lap 6, there's a 1-second lead now for Raiden Nickel over Zach Frank as they have less than 2 laps to go now.
We keep our eyes on the Spencer battle down through the kink right now. They're separated by about 6 cart lengths. They go into 8, 9, and they'll go into 9 and 10, and that conglomeration of turns over there. What do we call that? Is that 9 and 10 and 11, or 8, 9, and 10 down there?
I've always called that one 9, and then the S's are going to be 10 and 11, and then you go, we got one off the track. That's Gabe Spencer.
240 of Gabe Spencer, yeah,
so
and he's not happy with himself, I think, or maybe mechanically he's not happy, one or the other. He's very not happy.
Distraught, I think, fits that one. Yeah, he's beating his.
Yep.
He must have done something.
I don't think that's mechanical. He'd be over there beating on the cart if the chain had come off. I think he's trying to pound some sense into himself at this point.
Man.
Oh, my goodness. We've all been there, Bill.
Is that one Dad told me not to do that? Or I wonder what the deal is. Oh, man, the agony of defeat, as they say.
Yeah.
So here we are, last lap, white flag to Raiden Nickel. Let's see if we can catch up with the leader. There he is. He's stretched it out significantly now to 1.5 seconds. That was a half a second just that last lap between Nickel and Frank. And here he comes out of turn 17 for the final time for this pre-final.
A youngster out of Houston, Georgia, takes the checkered flag. It's Raiden Nickel with the win. Zach Frank will finish in 2nd spot. Jacob Hughes is on track to finish in 3rd. Let's see if that is in fact the case as he comes by. Yes. And then we've got the 181. Not sure we have a driver listed for that particular cart. Martin Semenoff in 5th spot. That rounds out your top 5. By the way, Jose Garcia moved up there at the last second, and he took away 5th position. So congratulations to Jose on a good run there. So senior, all the way down. I think Spencer Mast may have been our first junior in that class in the number 41.
Ended up being a 2.1 second margin, so another half second added on by Raiden Nickel. So he just put the pedal to the floor, if the carts had a floor, and took off. So these are seniors and juniors, KA 100. So Nickel, Frank, Hughes, Schneider, Garcia, and Simonoff are all the first 6 are seniors. Spencer Mast is the first junior. And yeah, I can see it.
Nope.
No, they're coming around, and we had a little trouble on the.
Like we had one that spun somewhere over there.
That didn't make it to the start.
Yeah, they're sitting over there coming out of the S's is where the problem is for that one right now. But we may still get a green, even though that's the situation with that one sitting over there. We had one of these drivers up here talking with us earlier today. I'm trying to remember which one it was at this
55?
point now.
Was that the one?
No, I believe that because he's not on our screen.
No.
Unless is he on there?
Nope.
Okay, he's
That's
not.
No, I'm trying to remember who the other one was.
For the life of me, I don't remember. I apologize for that. I don't remember. I got a green this time. They're heading down into turn 2. Look at those drivers go. Big battle going on there for the top spot. We got one driver emerging up front, but then we got a battle going on. Let's see if we can catch the number of that when it comes by.
That's going to be Zach Frank, your leader. He takes it from Raiden Nickel on the get-go. I don't know if he'll stay there very long given Raiden Nickel's reputation, but we will see as they scream through the kink and head towards that turn number 9 sweeper and into the S's.
Man, a lot of action going on with these guys. Just imagine the mist that you are if you're that 8th place driver back there and you've got all of that mist from those 7 in front of you being thrown up.
You might as well close your eyes and just hope for the best
Yeah.
for all the visibility you'll have in that
Be like
situation.
Martin Truex at Circuit of the Americas when he couldn't see anything and just plowed into everybody because that was a failed attempt by NASCAR to run in the rain. That did not work out well. Anyway, here they come off 17. We complete lap number 1. Let's check out this new lineup right now. Raiden Nickel is back in the top spot. Zach Frank is second. Jacob Schneider is third in the 181. Martin Semenoff is in fourth in the 26. And Samav Rutke in the 824 is running in fifth spot.
And you'll see that Nickel's already opened up about a 5-kart length lead as they come through our position here at turn 4. Broadcast Central here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Again, this is a 12-lap final for the KA 100 seniors and juniors. And there goes Raiden Nickel. Legend on karts and on the big track already. And only 14 years old, sweeping through the corner and looking to take another title here at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
You know, not that a lot of these drivers don't have the potential, but Raiden Nickel has that potential to be a professional driver. He's got the experience already. He's got the know-how. He's got the smarts. He's at that age where he's still teachable and also very marketable. So a good opportunity for him to have a future in racing.
Okay, so at what point do they become unteachable?
Well,
I've got one that I couldn't teach anything. So long about 13 might be
Yeah.
the wall, actually.
Teachable is more of an attitude than an age, I think. I have to tell you this story. This is a Chase Elliott story. I asked Bill one day, I said, are you able to tell Chase anything? And he said, no. He said, he says, Dad, you're old school. You don't know anything about what's going on today. He said, and this is odd because he said, the only way I can get Chase to do anything is say, I just heard Harvick and them talking on the radio about something they're going to try. And Chase said, let's do it. Of course, now Harvick and Chase are kind of in their little battle going on.
Right.
I think that's ended, but the fans and the media keep it going anyway. All right, we take our drivers down into turn 16 and over into 17 once again as Raiden Nickel brings us off of that corner, heading back to start-finish to complete 3 laps.
Yeah, Raiden's kind of picking up where he left off before, kind of heading. He had a little bit of a battle there with Frank in the pre-final as well, but he settled that. Now it's exactly 2.5 seconds gap back to Zach Frank in second. Jacob Schneider, another second and a piece back in third. So this is starting to spread out a little bit. You know, I think the elements may have something to do with this as well. Some of these karters may be more experienced or more adept at navigating through these different traction conditions than when the track is dry.
You know, you see that with football games. Whenever you have a really nasty condition and yet some quarterbacks and their receivers, they seem to still connect, and yet others can't seem to do it. So you see that in other sports, and it may translate over to this, just like you mentioned.
In horse racing, it's called a mutter. So
That's right.
It may be that some of these guys are mutters.
Some of them like the wet conditions.
Like the slop, yep.
On dirt tracks, we see that. There's some drivers that like a muddy track and some drivers like a dry slick track. So it just depends on your preference of what you feel like you're comfortable with. And generally, it's because you won your last race in that condition, and that way it becomes your favorite all of a sudden.
So the favorite is always subject to change.
That's
depending
right.
on your circumstances
That's
or
right.
your fortune.
It's like playing golf, man. As long as you get a last good shot, you're ready to come back the next time. Be-backer, they call them. Raiden Nickel leads him off of the kink and heading down toward turn 9 right now. Zach Frank still trying to chase him down, but Nickel has a pretty good lead right now on this group of drivers. In the KA100, Nickel runs in the seniors. A lot of these guys are seniors. Our first junior on the track is Oliver Pataic in the number 12, and he's running back in 5th position.
He's moved up, though, from the overall. He started further back than that because, remember, we had the first 6 at least were seniors. So Oliver has already gotten past a couple of seniors to move up to 5th overall.
Yeah,
So good for
Piatek
him.
started back down the roster a good bit, so he's moved up a good bit to now in 5th spot. There you see our
Didn't he have
leaders.
some misfortune in the pre-final?
He
Is that why
did.
he's so far back? So
Yeah.
he's making up for that for sure.
He was running well, and in the last lap or maybe 2 laps to go, he had some kind of problem, and that put Piatek starting deep in the field in this one.
So next time by, we will be halfway in this KA 100 junior and senior final as Raiden Nickel continues to dominate, at least the first half. We see him there heading into the S's.
Another driver we haven't talked much about is Jose Garcia, and Jose had a good run going in this race, and something happened to him, and he has just now crawled up to 10th position. He was running in 11th, and he's now just crawled up into 10th and gotten on our leaderboard on our screen right here.
So coming out of turn 17 to get the halfway, the cross flags go to Raiden Nickel. Let's see how he's doing margin-wise. That's a good, 5 seconds, 4.987 to be precise. But, we'll say 5-second lead now for Raiden Nickel. So he's kind of put everybody in his rearview mirror if he had one. And there we go. Zach Frank still in second, running well, though. I mean, there's no disgrace finishing second to Raiden Nickel for sure.
Yeah.
But here he comes underneath our position. Again, you're seeing that slipping and sliding, and they're hanging on.
Yeah, our running order has stayed the same through that lap, so nobody made any changes from the previous lap on that one. Top 11 all remain the same. And there you see a pretty tight little battle going on down through the kink right now with 3 drivers at it.
And as you were saying earlier, when you get in that traffic, that spray becomes a real big issue. You really can't see very easily what's going on. So it adds even that little variable into the battle. You'd rather be in front of a 3-car pack than be the third one whenever conditions are like this. And there they go.
You know, that
through
3-car
15.
battle is back in the pack, but it's a pretty good little race going on right now. You see one driver looking down to the inside.
go,
We'll check
side by
on those,
side. Yep.
find out who they are as they come across here. That is Spencer Mast, who just gets by the 824 of Sam Avrutsky. Gabe Spencer also involved in that in the 240, as you see those guys making it through turn 2.
So it doesn't really matter whether you're first or last, but as long as there's a battle, as long as there's a position to pick up, then there's always going to be a race, and that's what's going on here. This is the battle for 7th, right? 7, 8, and 9?
Yeah.
Is it Master Vrusky and Spencer? Absolutely. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go along. Meanwhile, back up at the front of the pack, there goes Raiden Nickel. He's coming down to the line right now. Then coming out of 17, second place, Zach Frank. And the gap there is 5.33. So he's stretching it out a little bit, about 4/10 more than the last time we looked. And there's your leader, Raiden Nickel, going underneath us right now. But, man, they just whipped through that, that chicane, that kink.
Yeah, I need to ask Raiden sometime what the significance of the number 93 is. I'm always fascinated by why drivers choose certain numbers, and everything he drives is a 93, so I'm going to find out the significance of that from him at some point.
It could be something as significant as a favorite athlete, or something as insignificant as it was the number that was available.
Yeah,
Or
that's right.
Or like Lee Petty pointed to a license plate on a car and said, just take the last 2 digits off that license plate.
Isn't that something?
That's how he ended up as
That
42.
created a dynasty of 42, 43, 44, and 45 over the years.
Yep.
And I had one driver who told me once he was number 10, and I asked him, I said, why did you choose number 10? He said, well, I figure I'm half as good as Tony Stewart. So I thought that's the winning answer right there. I like that. That took the cake.
Well, what's funny is you see in watching dirt track racing and short track racing, the lower digits are more coveted. You
Right.
see more lower digit. Now, I
Right.
don't know whether that's you only have to buy one decal, to go on the car, or whether, I don't know what it is. To me, I like prime numbers. When I race online, I'm number 59. That's also the year I was born.
So are you
that
like
helps.
Sheldon Cooper? When you see a prime number, does it smell like pineapple?
Let's not go there. But it's also a number that's less likely to be picked. If I pick number 1, I'm not going to get, if I'm in a league or something, somebody else has already picked that one.
One of our local hot shoes out of Franklin, North Carolina, that runs in our area, David McCoy, runs the 187. And for the longest, he wouldn't tell me why he chose 187. And finally, one night, he said, all right, I'm going to tell you. He said, it's the police scanner code for murder, and I'm going to murder them with speed. That's why he chose 187. So I thought, that's pretty cool. I'll go with that.
So that means keep your distance from number 420?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do not want the 420 anywhere around that. Oh my goodness, we have tarried off from the subject. At
There's
hand.
a race going on, isn't there?
Oh, Raiden Nickel, 10 laps complete. We're within 2 laps to go right now as our drivers make their way. Raiden is already down through the kink, and he's heading on for the final lap of this one. But we still got that good battle going on. It is increased now from 3 carts up to 4 carts in that battle.
Zach Frank in anything but a comfortable position right now. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. That was Spencer Mast, actually.
Yeah, those are the 4 drivers involved in
Yeah.
that. Jose Garcia has moved up 1 spot. He's up to 9th now. He's just gotten past Gabe Spencer.
So Mast has opened it up a little bit. Of course, we got, where are we? 11? Yeah, we are on the last lap here. So let's see where Raiden Nickel comes. White flag is flying for the tail end of the field. And we'll see Raiden in just a second, although I see a green cart pulling off already.
There comes Raiden, I think, off of 2. Is that Raiden? I'm not sure that's him. No.
Let's see.
That is that's Jacob Schneider. Nickel's already come by our vantage point, so he's heading down into
7. Yeah, Spencer in that pack we were just watching just finished the last lap, or took the white flag rather. So we should see that. I think that's Raiden going into turn 16 right now. Here he is out of 17 and coming to the line. Is that right?
That's
Nope,
the
white flag.
last car on the lead lap.
All right,
I believe.
never mind. No,
Now we
here
got
we
Raiden.
go. Here, Raiden Nickel. Yep, now I see the green. And there is Raiden Nickel.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we'll try not to venture into too many stories while the race is going on. We tend to lose track of what's going on. Zach Frank will finish second, 7.2 seconds behind. Then due third, I believe, is going to be Jacob Schneider. Good run for him. We didn't see anything out of him in the pre-final, so he's definitely found something in the interim between the pre-final and this race. So there's your finals: Nickel, Frank, Schneider, Simonoff, Hughes, Piatek, Mast, Garcia, Avrutsky 9th, and rounding out the top 10, Gabe Spencer.
Now there's that big battle going on. They finally got single file there at the very end, and that's the way they all ended up after all that was said and done. So a good race for our drivers in the KA 100 Senior and Junior as they finish up here this afternoon.